Hi everybody, I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive. Today I'm making this video on two tools that I put to use every day. It's not going to be your typical tool review where I'm throwing specs at you and telling you what torque specs and all that type of stuff. I'm just going to put these tools to use, show you how they can be beneficial to you and how they help me every day. So that's the M12 and the M18 fuel 3H drive, both of them. So I'm using the Milwaukee M18 3H drive impact gun here to remove lower shields on this Toyota. I use it quite often for this application. Whenever I'm doing oil changes and those type of jobs, this is my go-to tool for removing these under shields on most of these modern cars. Here I am using the M12 ratchet to make quick work of hose clamps here. Now I'm using it to remove coil, the bolts from the coil packs here. You're going to see me switch back and forth between the M12 and the M18 on this job. I'm doing a pretty large job here with a lot of service work, so I'll use a mixture of the both tools. Here I'm using the M12 ratchet to remove the timing cover on this Toyota pickup here. Now I'm using it to remove a fan shroud. Here in a second I'll take off the lower bolt and you'll see how I put a smaller socket on. And so I put a shorty socket on here and I can get down here in these tight areas. That's what one thing I love about this ratchet is it's very small and it's very versatile. You can get down in tight areas like this and get these little fasteners loose. Now I'm going to switch over to the M18 fuel impact gun here, and that makes quick work of these fan brackets on these Toyota pickups. So I'll just bust off these 14mm bolts, and this is what I do is I switch back and forth as I'm doing these type of jobs, you know, whatever one I feel fits the need for the job. Here I am using the M12 again to get a bracket off the side of the intake here, and as you can see it's a pretty tight little spot, but it fit right in there and it has enough power to bust these bolts free. Earlier in the video you saw me take the coil packs off with the M12 ratchet, but I'm going to put them back on with the M18 to show you how the variable trigger you can ease the torque up without over torquing things. So that's a nice little feature about it. Here I am using it to remove a thermostat housing on this little Toyota. And it has 3 bolts here, or 3 nuts. You just zip them off. So the speed that these tools have brought to my work day has been a tremendous help in increasing my flag hours and my flat rate. Here I'm using the M18 to remove the idler pulley on this timing belt job I'm doing. Here I'm using the M18 to remove the water pump bolts. The compact size of this little gun makes it great for getting into small spots like this and making quick works. As you can see, it's making quick work of this water pump here. So now I'm going back on with the water pump, and I'm going to use the M12 here to run it all the bolts in and tighten them up. And the reason why is I like to run them all the way in until they're snug, and then give them that and tighten them up by feel. And I just use the ratchet so I can feel the torque, how much torque I want to put on the bolts. So I just run it in with the M12 here. With the M18 I wouldn't quite have that control, so that's why I would use the M12 for a job like this. Here I'm using the M12 ratchet to put the lower shield, timing cover shield on, and it has a variable trigger to let me ease the torque up. It's very easy to over tighten these plastic timing covers and crack them, so that's why I'd be careful and use the M12 here and just ease the torque up and gently snug the bolts up. So as you can see, using it on doing timing belts and water pumps like this job is going to benefit you to have a couple tools like these two. Now I've switched back over to the impact gun to put the fan bracket back on, and it makes quick work of this. The 1-2 combination punch of switching back and forth between the ratchet and the impact gun is going to speed up your productivity. That's why I'm recommending that you have both of them in your collection. Here I'm using the M12 ratchet here to put the thermostat housing back on, And I'm using this again for the feel, so I run them until they're snug, and then you want to tighten them up about a quarter turn or so more, and you can just feel that better with using the ratchet versus the impact gun. Here I am using the M18 fuel to tighten up the crank bolt here. So I will leave links for these both in the description of the video. That way, if you're interested in picking these up, you can find those there. I'm Brian Eslick from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos. Encourage you to subscribe. Invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this. Thank you again for watching.